No more vegetal.
Right.
No more gym sock.
Right.
No more veininess.
No more beanie.
And no more beanie. Hose me with that. You really jacked me. So now you're turning into something I want to put in my mouth. Got
Interestingly enough, chocolate is a non-Newtonian solution.
it? No idea what that means.
We have perfectly aligned the polymorphic cocoa butter.
With the non-Newtonian solution.
You got it.
Dude, you knit and crochet, you don't count. Of course I'm ready to eat chocolate. I'm starting to do chocolate. On tonight's episode,
Went to the same church in Arcata, then he graduated.
Dustin and I had hatched this business plan that we were now chocolate makers, but we had never made chocolate before.
what happens when a couple of quirky carpenters take a leap of faith to build the perfect chocolate bar?
Because we didn't have a lot of money, we had to buy secondhand machines, tear them all apart, clean them all up, and put them back into service.
Well, it gets a little weird.
Did you ever do origami as a kid?
No, man, did anybody? In Humboldt County, California, sits the quiet little town of Arcata. Among its inhabitants of artists and farmers is a pair of former carpenters named Adam Dick and Dustin Taylor, who turned their love of tinkering into a thriving craft chocolate business. I'm here to meet up with the guys and the owner of this bagel place, who just happens to have been their first backer. Then I'm going to make some of their award-winning chocolate. Then I'm going to eat it.
Morning.
Morning.
Is there coffee?
There is.
The largest cup you have, the strongest roast you have, and whatever other medicinal traits you can incorporate into it. Fantastic. This is the biggest cup of coffee I've ever had.
There, good.
Dustin, Adam, Dennis.
That's correct.
You want to sit down?
Yeah, let's go have a seat back here.
Sure.
Dennis is the proprietor of Los Bagels, and he's been a supporter of Adam and Dustin's business since before it was a business.
I initially met these guys when they were both carpenters. I needed a custom-made window made for the small cabin I have, and good friends had recommended that we go, get in touch with them. And I went to his house, going through the plans, and he goes, I know you're really into food. Come into my kitchen. Look on top of my refrigerator. I'm starting to do chocolates.
My favorite word in that sentence, the verb, is do.
Yeah.
Not make chocolates. No, I'm starting to do chocolate.
Yeah, we are the very first bean-to-bar chocolate makers in Humboldt County, and one of just a handful even in the U.S. that start with the fermented and dried cocoa beans. So it's a real kind of a unique and growing segment of like the chocolate industry.
We're going to check out your chocolate
We're
joint.
gonna make some chocolate.
Yeah.
You got it.
And now we're off to the chocolate factory in what I believe is a car. What century are we talking?
66.
19.
19.
We're going to tool around town
and
we are.
incredible race speed, so.
at speeds approaching 8 miles an hour.
Exactly.
Coffee okay in the ride?
Oh, it's great.
And you typically have to adjust the tightness of the seatbelt based on the position of the seat.
You might not want a seatbelt on for this ride.
It's not that I don't want to wear a seatbelt. It's just that I don't know how.
So I'm up here in Northern California's artsy-craftsy Humboldt County on my way to make some bean-to-bar chocolate at Dick Taylor Craft Chocolate. It's the creation of Adam Dick and Dustin Taylor, a pair of brainy former carpenters who seem to know a little bit about a lot of things.
What kind of birds are these,
Those I am not sure. They might be godwits, but my knowledge of birds is lacking.
Here's the thing in TV, Adam. If you speak with certainty, your credibility will go through the roof. No one will question you. You could say cormorants.
Well, they're not cormorants, I know that.
But you could have said it.
Okay then, let's go make some chocolate.
Let's hit it.
Let's hit it.
In a location that makes perfect sense for these woodworkers turned Willy Wonkas, the Almquist Lumber Company. Adam and Dustin were regulars here back when they were carpenters. When they needed a place to make some chocolate, the yard offered them some space.
Welcome.
Thank you. Oh, Doug, how are you? So this is the place to get your wood.
Yep.
Okay.
I have a little bit of everything here at Almquist Lumber. You probably smell chocolate.
I do.
Here we go. This is our spot.
How old's this machine?
This is probably from the 50s.
And all this stuff? I mean, it looks like it came as a set.
Because we didn't have a lot of money, we had to buy secondhand machines, tear them all apart, clean them all up, and put them back into service.
So the Volvo is it's not a car, it's a metaphor.
Yeah, we're stuck in a certain time period mentally, I guess.
What is this?
The cocoa pod has all the beans inside of it.
The beans are in the pod. Is this a facsimile or an actual real?
That's an actual dehydrated one. So when they're fresh, they're much more vibrantly colored and they're,
There's a
full of
picture
water.
of one back here of what
I
they're
didn't
like.
know either.
Fresh beans, purple. It's covered in like a white mucilage.
White what?
Mucilage, it's like the fruity, it's a very tropical fruit, so it's moist and you can suck that off the bean and it's very sweet. And it's
In this stage here, if you ate that, you wouldn't detect not even a hint of chocolate flavor.
Nothing.
But after it's been fermented and then subsequently sun-dried, now all of a sudden the chocolate flavors are developed.
And this came from what part of the world?
Well, it grows anywhere in the world, 20 degrees north and south of the equator in the tropical cacao belt.
Cacao belt?
Cacao belt.
So it's like the Bible Belt, only with,
Exactly.
Chocolatey tasting.
this.
Education is step one.
Education is key. All right.
Step two is a Dick Taylor hat.
Since we're making food, we gotta keep your hair in line.
Yeah, so
All right,
we'll
let's head back.
head back to where we do the first stages of processing and we'll get your hands dirty.
You follow him, I'll follow you. You follow me.
Adam Dick and Dustin Taylor are a couple of very hands-on guys who are teaching me how they make chocolate bars that people are willing to spend $8.50 for. At the moment, we're at the roasting phase.
These ones are gonna go for about 27 minutes.
Yeah.
The main thing we're doing here with roasting, if it was to sum it up in one step, is we're developing the flavor. By roasting, we get rid of that vegetal flavor that we talked about.
Yes.
And we're gonna develop a more roasted, chocolatey base note.
So, no more vegetal.
Right.
No more gem sock.
Right.
No more veininess.
No more beanie.
And no more beanie.
Right. Now
getting
we're
now
gonna
into-
have chocolate.
Yes. Now, do you think we're going to stand out here for 27 minutes, marking progress every 3?
No.
I don't think we are either.
No, I don't think so.
Around 27 minutes later, we have roasted beans, which we grind into a paste using this appropriately named machine.
Won't you take me to?
Cocoa Town!
Exactly. So what we use this for is grinding our nibs, which is this is the roasted bean
Yep.
after it's been winnowed.
And then after 36 hours or so of this, you wind up with something that looks very much like this. Excuse me, but this smells a lot more like chocolate
Yeah, we're
at
getting
this
there.
point.
Exactly.
Can I
After
taste
it's
it?
been- yeah.
Good.
Take that guy.
I'm gonna go with that one.
That's why I had a spare.
Good thinking. It's bitter.
It's very bitter. It's not your usual chocolate bar.
You really hosed me with that. You really jacked me. Good. So far, everything I've had has gotten progressively more chocolatey.
Yep.
That
There's no sugar in this yet.
it is the epitome of the absence of sugar.
Exactly.
It's the opposite of sweet.
So this is what's called a plow mixer. And so you can see inside there are some very lethal looking plows.
Oh yeah,
Deadly.
deadly. I mean, if you're a nib or a piece of chocolate, that would send you
You're done.
screaming.
So this is what we use to mix the sugar and the liquor.
Yep.
To sweeten it up. You know, a lot of what we've done is figuring stuff out along the way. Most of these machines, or a lot of them, weren't necessarily purposed for chocolate manufacturing. So we would get an idea of what we thought we wanted to happen in the process, and then we'd try to find a machine that would mimic the function of that. This next step will be a lot quicker. We're just going to pour both of these buckets of sugar in,
Great.
and we'll turn the machine on and let her go.
This is the most transformative part of the process because now you're turning into something I want to put in my mouth.
Yeah, but it'd still be really gritty because that sugar has grit to it. But
Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Doesn't matter because I had the other stuff.
So, yes, this has sugar added to it. So.
Very transformative.
All right, we'll now move to the molding station. Here at the molding station.
This is a donut depositor.
A donut depositor?
Donut depositor that we got off eBay, and then we added a 3-phase motor to it and a frequency drive so we can control the speed of it.
We use it for filling our molds.
Not the intended purpose, but
But it works like amazingly well, and we get a really, really accurate dose of chocolate into each mold. You know, we want everything to be 2 ounces.
is that your name in there?
Yep.
Mold. Chocolate mold.
So what's going to happen is you're going to want to time it just right. We want the chocolate in the mold and not on the edge of the mold.
Totally botched it.
Not bad, not bad. Okay, and then bring it over here to the table and try to get it into all 4 corners. And this vibrating table here actually is it's a paper jogger from a print shop. So they use it to, like, if you got a whole ream of paper and it's all uneven, so you put it on there and it vibrates it all even.
So instead of doing this,
Yeah. We saw that another chocolate maker was using one of these, and so we of course went home and tried to find one on eBay, and we found it for real cheap, like 25 bucks. And then we didn't realize that it was $120 to ship it here because it weighs about 120 pounds.
of course it is.
And you can be kind of aggressive, tilt it a little bit, bang it.
Got it.
Interestingly enough, chocolate is a non-Newtonian solution.
No idea what that means.
It means that it behaves differently when energy is applied to it. That's how we vibrate it. So it's more likely to flow like concrete when it's vibrated.
I can't get over how
Newtonian.
non-Newtonian that is.
So when we've got it in there and it's all level and even, then it'll just go right in here into our little cooling cabinet, zip it closed, and on to the next one. We only have about 1,500 more to make today.
I'm going to do all 1,500.
Okay, all right, let's do it. All before lunch.
Behold, I make all things new is not just an inspirational maxim at Dick Taylor Chocolates, but a business model that has seen Adam Dick and Dustin Taylor transform discarded junk into the very means of creating a truly delectable, world-class treat.
Okay, we've come to that point in the process where it's time to put the gloves on, which means we're going to be touching fudge.
You got it. So what we're looking for is a nice, even coloration. We see a nice shine across the back. That's a well-tempered chocolate bar.
See that nice shine?
We have perfectly aligned the polymorphic cocoa butter.
With the non-Newtonian solution.
You got it. Tip this mold over, dump the chocolate bars out. There you go. So now what we're going to do is we're going to foil them, which is a process that takes a little bit of skill, but we'll work on it together. Did you ever do origami as a kid?
No, man, did anybody? I mean, has anybody? You did, Pete?
I did a bit of origami too, I'm sorry.
Dude, you knit and crochet, you don't count. But Pete, it's very disappointing. What do you sell these for?
We suggest $8 a bar.
So that's an expensive piece of chocolate.
Yeah, but some of them sell for $12 up to $16. I mean, at the bean, we're trying to pay a premium for these very unique beans.
But the finest bottle of scotch in the world, what would you guess that costs?
I've seen $6,000 bottles.
And that's, clearly well out of our price range.
Yeah.
But a really finely crafted chocolate bar is still an affordable luxury for most people. You can try something that's rare, unique, and exotic. It really is, I think, a good value for the amount of work and the quality of the ingredients that goes into it.
Really, the best marketing is someone who likes your chocolate. They're going to speak very highly of your chocolate. And so over the last 4 years now, we're worldwide and all out of this little spot. We're doing about 2,400 pounds of chocolate a month out of this little spot.
That's amazing.
It is. It's a pretty chaotic.
That's nuts.
Yeah, it's a lot of chocolate. So we have to leave one at least unfoiled so we have something to eat. You ready to eat chocolate?
Of course I'm ready to eat chocolate. May I?
Go for it. Pop into it. Notice that nice temper snap. Pop.
Does have a nice snap to it.
Yep.
The chocolate's great. Has a nice mouthfeel.
Having convincingly used the phrase nice mouthfeel, and after finally tasting the fruits of their labor, I can tell you with certainty that these two carpenters turned confectioners have taught themselves how to make a truly exquisite gourmet chocolate bar. Sometimes we know exactly what we want in life. Sometimes it takes a leap of faith. Either way, it always takes passion, hard work, and ingenuity to become the best at what you do. Not bad for a couple of guys who bonded over crocheting and bluegrass.
So I think for the very first time in the history of the world, a chocolate shop has collided with a lumberyard and brought us all together in a way that can only be properly expressed in song. So when you have the opportunity, give us a big old G chord and we'll commence to singing. Somebody's gotta do it. Somebody's gotta do it. I found a place where people laughed and put their hearts into it. It ain't the job and it ain't the pay, no matter how you view it. A little work, little place, somebody's got to do